Hello friends, in this lecture we will know about the tolerances and we will know how to insert tolerances in the sketch dimensions. Now first of all we will have to understand what are tolerances. So tolerance is basically the total amount of a specific dimension that is permitted to vary. Now let's understand this. So basically it is not possible to manufacture a dimension of exact value. Let's consider this example. Let's say I want to create a part of dimension exactly 25 mm. But when we do the manufacturing, it is not possible to create the part of exact dimension. So that is why we provide some tolerance value. For example, let's say I want to create a part of 25 mm. So I will specify a tolerance value. So let's say here the tolerance value is 0.5. I will specify a tolerance value between 24.5 up to 25.5. So dimension between this range is acceptable. So here we can also specify this dimension as 25 plus minus 0.5. So this is specified as tolerances. So we can insert the tolerances with the dimensions. So basically the tolerance is calculated by using the formula. So tolerance is equal to upper limit minus lower limit. So for this part, this complete length is the upper limit. Similarly, this is the lower limit. And between this length here, this dashed portion is called the tolerance value. So any length between this range is acceptable for the part. So we can specify tolerances using two systems. We can use unilateral system and also we can specify the bilateral system. When we specify the tolerance using the unilateral system, the dimension only vary on the one side. So this is one side dimension varying. Here we can see in this example, so let's say this value is 100. It is going to take a positive value in 0.20, but here it is not taking any value in other side. Similarly for the 75, we can see here is a negative tolerance, but on positive there is 0. So this is called the unilateral tolerances. Similarly, we have bilateral tolerances. So in this we can specify the tolerance in both the sides. So here we can see we can specify 75 plus minus 0.15. So we can display tolerances using two options. We can do this like 75 plus minus 0.15 and also we can display like this. So I will specify the value 20, this is base dimension, and then upper limit and lower limit. So now we will learn how to insert tolerances in NX. So go to NX. So I am in the sketch mode. So to create the tolerances we need some dimensions. So let's say I draw a rectangle of any dimension and then double click on this dimension. Let's say I want this dimension to be 150. Press enter and then go to settings. In this settings, click on this settings and then go to the option of tolerances. Now inside this tolerance right now there is no tolerance. So click on this arrow. We have equal bilateral tolerance, unilateral, like this. So start with this unilateral. In unilateral we have positive and negative. So here we can see when we want to change the value in negative side, we can use this. So I go to this negative. We need to specify up to which decimal we want. So right now the decimal is 2, we can specify this 3 like. So I'm taking this as 2. So negative value, let's say this is negative 0.1. Click close. 0. And this time we can see the dimension is going in the negative side. So go to this dimension and then click on settings. Similarly, we can specify the unilateral, close, and this time the dimension is changing on the positive side. So go to this dimension, click here and then go to settings. In the similar way we can specify bilateral. So when we specify the equal bilateral, so let's say this equal bilateral, insert some value of tolerance and click can close. It will specify it as a plus minus. So this is equal bilateral tolerance. Click here and then select settings. Similarly, we can specify some different values of the bilateral. You can specify upper limit and lower limit and then close from here. So in this way we can insert the tolerances. Once again I go to the settings. So in the tolerance we have some more option like limits and fits and then basic dimension. So this option is basically useful when we have hole and shaft system. So these are all the standards for creating the hole and shaft system. I click close from here. So in this way we insert tolerances into the dimensions.